Are you looking for the best beginner cameras for nature photography? In this video, we will look at some of the 6 best cameras on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Canon EOS Rebel T8i. The EOS Rebel T8i is an amazing DSLR camera. In some places it is sold as Canon EOS 850D. If you encounter these names, you should know that it has to do with the same product. It has lots of features and it is easy to use just as beginners need. I can say that this is probably the best camera for beginners because it's pretty easy to use. It's also one of the most popular Canon cameras out there. Design-wise, this camera comes fully covered in black color and it has measurements of 3 by 5.16 by 4.04. It is considered a portable-friendly camera based on its weight of only 2.26 pounds, which is lightweight, keeping in mind that it is a DSLR camera. It is mostly made of plastic, but still, it is very solid while in your hands. The sensor that this camera is equipped with is the 24.1 MP CMOS sensor, which works perfectly, and it is combined with the Digic 8 image processor. Both the sensor and the processor are responsive to the astonishing image quality that is brought to you by this camera. The ISO range of this camera works is from 100 to 25,600, and it is also expandable up to 51,200. Based on what is mentioned just above, sensor, processor, and ISO range, the nature pictures that will be captured with this camera will be brought to you at their highest level of quality. The images are very clear and they are great even in low light. The continuous shooting speed of this camera is 7 frames per second, and you can also record 4K videos at a frame rate of 24p. This camera features a dual-pixel CMOS autofocus that is very accurate, precise, and very fast at the same time. Another great feature included in this camera is its powerful battery. While fully charged with this camera, you will be able to shoot about 800 shots via the optical viewfinder, and in case you want to use the live view feature on the LCD touchscreen that it has, then it can hold up on up to 310 shots. Definitely a great beginner camera. Number 2. Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III. This camera also comes from Canon, but it differs from the one already mentioned above since the Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III is a point-and-shoot camera. That means that this camera's focus and exposure are totally automatic. Even though it's a point-and-shoot camera, its image quality is amazing. As a whole, this camera is a very small one, which basically tells us why it is a point-and-shoot camera since they are mostly small in size. The measurements are 1.6 by 4.1 by 2.4 and weighs only 13.12 ounces. Based on its size, it can perfectly fit even in your pocket. The materials that this one is made of are a combination of plastic and metal, and in general, it has a very solid body. You can choose in between 2 colors, which are silver and black. This point-and-shoot camera are packed with a 20.1 MP CMOS camera sensor, and it works along with the powerful Digic 8 processor. They control amazingly this camera, and they bring to you a very great quality of images and videos as well. The ISO range that this camera works with is 125 to 12,800. The image quality of this camera is in its perfect way. While taking the picture, it shows amazing colors that are vibrant and very dynamic, and they are perfectly clear. It is also a great camera that captures great images even in low light. The continuous shooting speed of this camera is 20.0 frames per second. You can record videos on 4K that works on 30p, or you can record full HD videos that work on 120p. This camera uses a contrast detect autofocus system which is very responsive. While in nature, you may want your image to be focused on any particular place or a thing, and on its automatic mode, anything will be focused quickly and responsively. While fully charged, with this camera you can shoot more than 200 images. Since there is no viewfinder, you will take your pictures only via the LCD touchscreen, and it is very flexible. It's also a pretty affordable camera, and that makes it a popular pick amongst beginner photographers. Number 3. Nikon D780. Moving on to another company, it is the Nikon ones with its amazing DSLR camera, the Nikon D780. It is a great camera starting from its first look, going into the smallest details about its features. This camera is very well built. It comes in a black finish and the material that it is made of is impressively sturdy materials such as magnesium alloy and carbon fiber materials. It is also a camera that is moisture and dust sealing. The measurements of this one are 5.65 by 2.99 by 4.55 inches and it has a lightweight of 1.57 pounds. Nikon D780 is packed with a 24.5 MP CMOS sensor, and on this one, it works combined with Nikon's X6 image processor, which is a powerful one. As experts say, the camera sensor and the processor are the brains of a camera. This camera with that combination is one of the most powerful ones. It also has a wide ISO range from 100 to 51,200 and it is expandable to 204,800. With the full-frame sensor, the image quality of this camera is amazing. The nature images that you will take with this camera will be fully detailed and the colors are shown perfectly. The camera also has 20 filters included and you can choose in between them to make your picture look better than ever. The continuous shooting speed of this camera is 7 frames per second and for video, it captures full-frame 4K videos that are ultra-sharp. The autofocus system on this camera is more than impressive. It is very quick, sharp, and very accurate. It clearly focuses on the subject, or you can choose the manual usage of the focus, in order to focus on anything that you want, while in nature. Once this camera is fully charged through the viewfinder, you can take up to 2,260 shots. It is the highest number of shots that any camera allows you to take. When using its LCD touchscreen on the live mode, the number of shots may be dropped, but still, 2,260 shots are a massive feature. Number 4. Nikon Z FC. Here goes another mirrorless camera from Nikon. The Nikon Z FC is Nikon's newest launch and it quickly became a favorite camera, especially for beginners in any field of nature and landscape photography. It has lots of features and besides that, it is very easy to be used. This camera comes with a very pretty design that makes it different from all the cameras that are mentioned in this article. It has a very pretty vintage cool style that is really eye-catching. It comes in a combination of black and silver. The measurements of this camera are 5.3 by 1.8 by 3.7 inches and it has a weight of 13.8 ounces. The sensor that is included in this camera is a 20.9 MP DX CMOS sensor and it is paired with the X6 image processor. This sensor lets you do whatever you want on this camera. You can brighten the shadows of your image at any level, while the ISO range of this camera works at 100 to 51,200 and it can be manually adjustable. The nature photographs taken with this camera have a great quality with an amazing dynamic range and an impressive low light performance. Dynamic range is pretty important when it comes to nature photography, so that's a big plus. You can shoot even in the darkest places and still the capacity of this camera is more than amazing. While taking pictures it has a continuous shooting speed of 11 frames per second. The video quality is also better than ever since you can record 4K Ultra HD videos on up to 30 frames per second. The autofocus system on this camera is very responsive. In case you are recording people or animals, it has the ability to track eyes. It is a focus that is accurate and very fast. All these features included, while they are all in use, this camera allows you to take about 300 shots on just a single charge, and the number doesn't differ if you choose to use the electronic viewfinder or the LCD touchscreen. Number 5. Olympus OMD EM5 Mark III. This camera is a compact DSLR that in a way is aimed at the biggest enthusiastic beginners out there. This camera is packed with lots of features, and for beginners, they are very easy to use and it would be one of the best options. This camera is one of the most resistant digital cameras that are mentioned in this article. Even though it may have a similar look as the Nikon Z FC, it still has its own amazing design. It measures 4.9 by 3.4 by 2 inches and weighs 2.60 pounds. The camera has full weather-sealed construction since it is splash-proof, dust-proof, and freeze-proof. It is a portable camera that accompanies you wherever you want to go. Packed with the 20MP live MOS sensor and the TruePic 8 image processor, besides being durable, this camera is also very powerful. When compared to its predecessor, the Mark II, this camera has a smaller sensor and that totally helps the full performance of this camera. The ISO range of this Olympus camera works from 200 to 25,600. The combination of a processor and the sensor on a camera is always the most important thing. With the combination of both of them mentioned above, this camera promises you great color accuracy, lifelike images, and an amazingly sharp and clear display. The continuous speed that the pictures are shot works at 30 frames per second. Meanwhile, the video quality comes in 4K. In this camera are found 16 art filters and also image stabilization, which means that your images will come with any blur. The focus of this camera isn't the best for very quick-moving subjects, but since we are talking about nature photography, we deal with calmness and not moving objects or subjects. The focus that it owns is great for these types of pictures or videos. Olympus on their cameras always use, in a way, the same battery, and on this one, the battery life doesn't differ much from its predecessor, Mark II, because on this one too you can take approximately 300 shots on a single charge when using the LCD screen. Number 6. Panasonic LUMIX S1R. This Panasonic camera is a full-frame mirrorless camera that has an amazing rugged design. It is a resistant one from dust, splashes of water, and also freezing weather. This makes it a great camera for wildlife photography. It is packed with a 47.3 MP full-frame MOS sensor, and the Venus engine, which is an image processing engine. Because of them, the camera has an immersive image quality, the pictures taken are very detailed and they have incredible clarity, and the continuous shooting speed works at 9 frames per second. The video quality on the other hand comes at 4K on 60p and 50p. It owns amazing autofocus that is very accurate, and it also makes the camera work perfectly in low light. As per its battery life, this camera allows you to shoot up to 360 shots once it is fully charged.